Hey everybody, it's Dan. I'm back with another video. So today we'll be talking about my figure drawing class, and basically we have like nude models and we like draw them. So obviously I can't film in there because nudity, but I'll show you kind of what I've been learning in the class over 4 days. So like we started school like 2 weeks ago, so I basically have 4 days worth of work. We just do a lot of 20-minute like gesture drawings, so that's kind of what I will be showing you guys. So this is, by the way, don't do me too much. This is the first day, and if you've been watching me, I am not the best at drawing people, so I'll be showing you like my little progress and how this now looks like my most recent drawing. So this is like the first day, and I believe that, I can't remember, I think they were all like 10 or 15-minute drawings. 10 or 20, I can't remember. But this is how it was looking at first, and it does look crazy, but like I said, I think it's like a 3-hour class, so we do like quite a few drawings. So as you can see, it's like getting a little better. I don't remember the exact order, but the first one I showed you was my first drawing. So this is the second one. As you can see, I started understanding the form a little bit better, but also my view of the figure was better than the first one because she was doing this thing with her arm, and I was like, oh no, this is not turning out the way I wanted to turn out. Is another one. As you can see, it's getting even more better. And keep in mind, this is also the same day that I did all of these. So, and what the class really emphasizes on is like learning the body. So we have, he's given us like tasks to like draw like kind of like the form and not make the body stiff, but also to draw a skeleton, know where the joints are, kind of know the terms for all those things, so we know how they like function and how to make our figure look as realistic as possible when we're looking at them and not making things up that that aren't there, which is something that I typically do. One thing about me, I will add something that isn't there. So yeah, and he will clock me on it. My professor will clock me on it. And then, damn, I did a lot in that day. Okay, so I have this one. I honestly really liked this one when I was doing it. This is like one of the good ones of the day. And then I also thought this one was pretty good. Don't mind that the feet aren't showing. Honestly, I didn't know how to make it look like it was pointing forward. It just looked like she was on her tippy toes when she wasn't. So here is the figure. Now we're gonna go to day 2, and let me tell you, day 2 is gotten like so much better. And you know, like the measuring method, like based on heads, like usually people are around 7 heads, so kind of like how to proportion the body, right? So usually when I am, damn, should we start with this one? This one's like really good. I kind of don't want to start with that one. Start with this one. Okay, so we are learning a little bit more about how to like proportion the body. She was like leaning a little bit forward, and how like some things might like tilt, so like her hips are like tilted upwards and her pelvis is tilted down, and then I have like where the head ends, where the feet end, and like the midpoint. But I do think it's I think the legs might be a little too long in this one, but this is on my second day. This is also on my second day, and honestly, this is not my favorite drawing. I don't know, it's just like the pose she was doing. Every time there's a side pose, it's super difficult for me to draw it for whatever reason. Like, it always gets me. And one of my favorites, this was like, oh, and keep in mind, these drawings were 20-minute intervals, so I do remember that one. So this was one of them that I really liked, and she had this like, she was leaning on something, I can't remember what it was, but I just drew a little line of what she was leaning on. And this is like one of the drawings that I'm super happy about, because I think it's just super accurate to what she was doing. I mean, the arm is a little small, but other than that, I think it's pretty good. I even kind of have the feet in it a little bit, but yeah. And this was another one that we did the second day. And this one was also used as an example because don't look at the arms too much. Well, the arms are not bad. It's just like I was rushing cuz like 20 minutes. But overall the figure, like, you can really tell like which leg that she is leaning on, and it's like this drawing is convincing to what she was doing. So, okay, now we have the third day, and oh my gosh, I was struggling so bad. So, something that I struggle with. So, obviously, I'm like getting better, but I struggle with back poses and side poses, especially when like the arm is doing something. I don't know. So, here is the first one. Now, this one's a little out of proportion. And keep in mind, my professor, he was coming at me because he didn't necessarily say anything until after I have another one I'll show you. That's when he brought up this one, because as you can see, so my midpoint is here, but really this part should be higher. Like the midpoint should be probably about right here, which is why it's out of proportion. It looks like the torso is so long and the legs are short. And but also we got a new figure that we were drawing. So the second day, that's why they look so good, because we were drawing the same figure a second day. But this one on the third day was a new figure, which is probably why I was struggling. The other one. Now this one came out way better, especially I really like this one because you can kind of tell that she was like leaning on this leg that's going forward. On the other one, I kind of made her like really broad. I don't know why I did that, but it's because like she's like strong, but like I made her Hulk strong, and it just wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. Also, I made a mistake and made the chest area too high. It should be lower, kind of like how these ones are. So, and that's something that my professor says people make a lot of mistakes on. Usually people struggle with the legs, with either making them too long or too short. And then the chest area, usually people make up too high. And he's like, it's botched. And I'm like, okay, like, chill. And the reason why, like, he has us kind of learn how the body does its maneuvers is because, like, when you're trying to make things like appear to be like leaning forward or their body is turned, you kind of have to know how the muscle works. And also the measuring thing. So for example, right, this knee was supposed to be right where the face is at. So like that's also a good way to measure. You can also measure like how far away the face is from the shoulder and that shoulder, and how far away this hand is supposed to be from this knee, and how far out this foot should be, from like the head. So that's kind of how I measure things. I just kind of like see the spacing on how far things should be when I'm drawing them out. This is another one from the third day. Honestly, this was kind of bad, but I'm gonna show it anyway. Yeah, it was like rushing. And like I said, backsides is just. And then on the fourth day, we ended up using like graphite sticks. I'm not a big fan of graphite sticks. I didn't really save any of the drawings because they were all terrible. So sorry, y'all. I do have this. So this time on day 4, we were actually drawing on drawing paper. So this is with graphite. And by the way, all the ones I showed you, I was using charcoal, soft charcoal. It's not compressed. And I realized from that class, I used to like be an avid like charcoal hater, but I do like soft charcoal. I realize I don't like compressed charcoal, so maybe that's why I feel the way I feel with charcoal. So soft charcoal is like it's much easier to use, so I'm not that upset about it. So here is my figure. I hope that it's focusing. I don't know if y'all can see. I'll do like a little close-up of how it looks like. And for this pose, I think she was holding it for about an hour. Okay. Now, y'all might be asking why I have so much of it not filled out. Okay, one, every time she moved back after a break, like, I swear she was in a different pose. I was like, that leg was not that far out, and your back was not that bent over, and now I have to change the whole thing. Same with the legs. I spent at least 30-40 minutes just on the legs because I couldn't get it right because of how her leg was. So, like, this back leg kept moving. So, either it was, like, really close or really far behind. Even though she's putting all of her weight on this foot. It was a mess. But overall, I do like how it came out. I do wish I put a little bit more detail in it while I was working on it. You know, what can you do when you're crunching for time and I think something I am super proud about though is the torso, and that's also what my professor said about how the torso looks. So everything was pretty accurate about the torso. The legs, they're okay, but they're not horrible. And I know he didn't really want us drawing in the hand. He just wanted us to draw in like a little figure of like what the hand's doing, just because we're going to go into how to properly draw hands, cuz as we all know, hands are hard to draw. So are like feet, which is why I didn't put too much detail in it. And I'm still trying to learn the perspective of like how the foot looks when it's like looking, when it's pointed straight at you. So that is all of the drawings that I have so far. If you guys have made it this far into the video, make sure you leave a like and comment, and see y'all next time. Bye.